Welcome back in, my friends, to Fierce XP. And boy, it's good to be back in the truck. Well, we're not back in the truck quite yet. We're in the garage here, but I'm excited to do this session here, even though it was only a couple days ago when we posted the last episode, but I think it was a day before that even when I had recorded it. So for me, it's nice to be back after a few days in American Truck Simulator. We got a few more upgrades on the truck. We got a new paint job, which I'm pumped about. Look at that red. Looks beautiful. New handles, mirrors, bug shield, bumper, I think. I don't know, but we got a few things on it. As we say in each episode, we got to go to work. We got to make some money so we can keep growing this business and see if we can get some different garages, hire some people, all that. And as a quick recap also for you guys, in case you forgot, we started out in Idaho. Actually, I named this playlist Idaho because I was planning on kind of operating within that state especially and exploring it. And then we got some new DLCs of the entire Northwest and started to explore elsewhere. We're up in Washington, I think, right now. Look at our license plate right there, Idaho. Yeah. So once we get in here, just be in a minute, and we'll maybe try to head back east. Let's get back to our home state. Might even get back to Twin Falls, I believe is our hometown. See the garage, how it's doing, make sure it's not falling apart. But we'll earn some money along the way, back across country, and most of all, let's enjoy the ride. So let's have a quick look at our map of where we're at. We are in deep northwest, right along the coast. Wait, where's the yellow roads? That's weird. I saw yellow dots here, so those are the towns that we've discovered so far. Was there an update or something that got rid of my roads? I mean, that's not the end of the world, but that's kind of a bummer. Anyway, we'll see about picking up some cargo. Could be out of Portland. I wouldn't even mind if it's out of Astoria. That'd be even easier. But we want to head east. I'm okay with going down Highway 84. We already made that trip once. But I don't know. We didn't go 90. That looks pretty interesting. And where's Idaho? It's here, Twin Falls. It's just one state over. And Idaho has kind of a thin sliver up here. I wondered if we were ever going to get up to Sandpoint. So maybe let's do that. We're going to look for jobs, maybe based out of Tacoma, Seattle, Olympia, something like that up here, wherever we can. We'll go east, maybe on Highway 90, because I don't remember seeing that yet, and try to go to Sandpoint or Coeur d'Alene. Why is this French? I didn't know Idaho was also French. And then we've got Grangeville, Lewiston, other places, Salmon in Idaho that we have not been to yet. Okay, I want to get in the truck, actually. Let's see how much time we've got to rest. But a reminder, we're just running a few mods. There's a few of them that are real world businesses and billboards and that stuff. That was the main thing I wanted. But we've got one other gameplay mod that changes the vanilla game where we have more time for deliveries. Meaning the deadlines aren't so tight. We can take jobs and generally we can rest and not have to worry so much about the delivery deadline. I just really prefer a bit of flexibility there. So we've got to rest in 5 hours, but that's fine. We should be able to still go grab some cargo. And again, if we got to scoot up to Seattle or something, that's no big deal. And then maybe we can get out on the highway before we hit a rest stop. What time is it? It's noon. Our whole sleep schedule is so messed. We might be driving at night in this one. Okay, let's take a look at the jobs. What do we want? Freight market and... Whoops. Longview? What's this? Seattle. Probably some big jobs here. Okay, we want... there's Sandpoint. It's pretty good paying job too. We'd be on Highway 90, it looks like. Man, that's about exactly what we want. It's a pretty traditional trailer, good bit of weight. Nothing unique about it though. It's not high value. It's not fragile, anything like that. Let's take a look at a couple other spots and just see what else is available. Washington's okay if it gets us a ways east. No, none of that's really appealing. And what's this? What's out of Astoria? Okay, that's not too bad. Nah, none of that's overly appealing. That's a cool delivery, but we're not trying to head there. Okay. Well, I think this, where was it? This one. What is gypsum? Excuse me? Is this a trailer full of gypsies? Maybe. Is gypsum the plural for gypsy? I don't know. Don't ask questions when you're a trucker, right? Like, I'm not even going to look in the trailer. You just hook it up and I'll take you over to Sandpoint. So sounds good to me. 12,000. Really good. We got lots of time to go grab this. 15 hours until the offer expires. And when's it expected? Saturday. Saturday afternoon, evening, tons of time. It's a pretty long trip, but that just seems perfect. Well, let's get her started up. Good to be back. Now, how do we get out of here? This is right. Oh yeah, we had to take logging roads into this place, so I'm assuming we're gonna have to take logging roads out. I think we can cut through here. We didn't want to do it with the trailer when we had it hooked up, but this is fun. Lovely. Oh man, there's probably some pretty good deliveries out of here, but I did check Astoria and nothing stood out to me, so we'll go on a trip free roaming with nothing attached. I think we can speed back here, right? I mean, if there's cops back here, I don't think I'd be very happy about that. It's like, man, aren't there people in the city that are causing trouble? We don't need to be back here in a logging operation. So we're just gonna let it rip. Test out that suspension. Look at that wobble. Yeah, it's just dancing. I wonder if we could take damage if we crank it too hard down a road like this. All of a sudden my suspension's gonna have a huge clunk or something. Okay. Take it easy. Let's be smart. We're an owner-operator. If we wreck our truck, it's gonna set us back a long way. We'll be sensible. I'm really impressed that they've got moving equipment back here. I remember as we drove through, I could hardly believe it. They've got tree harvesters, and I don't know if they got forwarders or what, but there's wood chippers to our left there. Pretty cool operation, and it's all, or a lot of it, is animated. It's some good work. I saw... So, by the way, we got about 3 hours of driving here to get back to Seattle to go grab our delivery, and then there should be just about the good timing with when we've got to rest, and we'll work out to the highway sort of maybe before we do rest. And it'll be partly a nighttime drive, but it is what it is. We gotta get the job done. I saw a video recently on YouTube. I forget, I should... Ooh. Okay, I just turned my truck off. Okay, just getting warmed up. What's going on with my lights here? Make sure those are on, okay. Sorry about that. Oh, we got some XP there for 100 miles of free roam. But I was saying, I saw a YouTube video of a guy, and I wish I knew the Holy smokes, what am I doing here? I need to learn my controls. I wish I knew who the content creator's name was, but he was talking about a huge issue in ATS, and it's to do with the East Coast. Now, this is probably a well-known issue. It's probably no surprise to any of you who might be seeing this. And apparently even SCS has known about it for a long time, and they've acknowledged it, that, hey, yeah, it's a big problem, and it's the scaling of the game. It's on, what, 120 to 1 is the scale that they use. But on the East Coast, those states, they're a lot more compact, they're a lot smaller, and so it would take, what did he say, 45 seconds to drive through certain states? And that's an issue, right? So they haven't quite figured out how to deal with that yet. I also saw that one of the announcements was British Columbia. I'd love to hear that. That sounds cool. Especially as a Canadian, I'm closer to whatever, I'm southeast, but still good to see British Columbia, and that sort of indicates that they would probably work through more of the provinces. They do Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, lots of farmland out there, and then who knows, maybe out to Ontario. So that's pretty cool, and that buys them a lot of time to not have to fully solve the East Coast. But it's an interesting problem. I wasn't fully aware. I don't know, they announced Illinois, and then they announced Louisiana, and I just think to myself, oh yeah, they're just working through them all. They're steadily releasing new states. But sooner or later, they're going to have a bit of trouble with that. And I guess I haven't played Euro Truck Simulator. I have ETS 2, but I haven't really played it. I don't know what scale they use. I'm assuming they just used a different metric, like instead of 120 to 1, maybe it's 30 to 1 or something. Because in general, I would think Europe stuff is smaller, like closer together in terms of the different countries and stuff like that. But I don't know exactly. Maybe, like I mentioned in a previous episode, well, I was going to say, like, working on ATS 2, like the new version of this game, rather than completing every single state. I don't know. I don't know if there's any actual knowledge of that. You guys feel free to mention in the comments if you know of any news of them developing a new game. I want to stay left here. But I'd love to make this a long series. We'll see. I mean, as long as, well, I don't know. Even if no one's really watching it, I'm still having fun. I might still just record when I'm playing. And, yeah, I'd love to make a big go at it, build a big company, have some, like, elite, amazing trucks, kind of anything we want, own a bunch of trailers, and then I'm happy to buy more DLCs later if we start exploring further east and south. I don't have a number of the states yet, but we'll just go one at a time. This is only episode 5, I believe, so it's early. So we're gonna go pick up some gypsies. Perfect. And then we're going to deliver that to Sandpoint, Idaho, which is like the very northern tip of our home state. That's great. I think we're going to see a new highway, Highway 90, and discover some new stuff. Who knows? Maybe there's some photo opportunities, cutscenes, discover some new roads, which, by the way, I do want to take a quick look. Are the roads turning yellow? No. Where are we? Okay, here. So what's going on with that? I'm sure I could find out pretty quickly. And again, if any of you know what the changes are, because I know that, what, 3 days ago, the last time we recorded, I had yellow roads in this save file. So I don't know if they reset it or they changed the rules of how that all works or what. And The other thing that's different is now it looks like any cities that you visited are now yellow dots. So it does recognize that part in terms of exploration, just not the roads. But maybe it's like certain mods I'm using. Again, we're only using maybe 4 or 5. Who knows? I don't know this for sure, but are trucks allowed to use the standard speed limit? Well, I mean, I do know the answer because my GPS is telling me 60, but I was going to say, if you don't have any cargo attached, that'd be kind of cool if it's like, no, then you're allowed to go the same as any vehicle, which would be 70. But that's all right. Not in any hurry. And you really can't be if you want to enjoy this game. All right. Need room, buddy? You want to... Okay, he's just going to slow down. Glad we finally got this thing painted. Loving the new red. And someday I dream of one of the striped decal kind of special paint jobs. I think they're at least 20 grand. I think maybe some of them are more than 20 grand. So that's for them rich folk. That's a big time operator right there, spending 22 grand, let's say, on just a cool paint job. We're not at that point right yet. I don't know why it is. I'm in my 30s, but why I like those kind of retro designs, because I feel like, I don't know, however many years ago I would have thought they were not corny, but just kind of lame, maybe, like thinking that's cool to have whatever retro kind of stripes on a truck. But you know, we all play this because we kind of geek out on the equipment and various things. I mean, there's lots of appeal about the game, but part of it is probably that, man, trucks are cool. I've never driven one either, and I don't know that I always had the same appreciation on the road like with real trucks. But I'll tell you what, since playing this game, I only discovered it maybe a couple years ago. Okay, we can bypass this way station. But when I discovered it and finally caved and decided, like, yeah, I think I could get into that, let me try it out. And I started to upgrade my own truck and see all the subtleties of the little upgrades and features and seeing what a fancy truck was, kind of. But then I started to notice real world trucks all the time. Like, oh, look at that Mack, look at that Volvo, and noticing different mirror configurations or grills and visors, how many horns they had on top, or like just all kinds of stuff. But seeing trucks in real life became totally different. Oh, it's pretty busy right now. I guess it's 3 o'clock. Just slow down a little bit. And we're exiting here? Okay. And thank you, buddy. Yeah, we're only 13 minutes away. Where am I going? I think right? Hopefully. Wow, what a spaghetti section of road. There's like 3 layers of elevation. No, I think we've been down here before. This is where I think I crossed through a one-way only because I wanted to get to a garage. Cool. Oh, that... what do you call it? The one with the engine. Well, it'd be like a locomotive, I guess, but the main car had a cool paint job, I think. Alright, so I suppose BHP. So let's get in here. The job should still be available. Hey folks, looking for a job going to Sandpoint. Yep, that's perfect. 44,000 pounds, and I won't ask what's in the back. Just hook it up. Okay, let's head around this way. Honestly, what the crap is a gypsum? Some kind of crop I've never heard of, or... I don't know. I might have to Google it after. Oh, this is another one. This looks like the same layout as where we came from. Looks like a weird... Oh, man. Dumb location to... I guess we're gonna have to pull through here with that trailer. It seems like a bad setup. You can have heavy equipment operating around these thin little rails that are probably structural, holding stuff up. Or I'm just a bad driver and I'm whinging about nothing. Oh, why'd you put this stuff in my way? The big orange truck. Cool. I kind of wish it was red to match my truck, but it's close enough. Okay. We've got a couple hours, roughly, until we must rest, so we're fine. Let's just take it easy getting out of here. Weight feels okay. We've done up to 50,000, so we certainly know it's not a problem. And where am I? Obviously left. Let's check everything. Mirror's good. Okay. Nice. Welcome to South Dakota. Huh. I wonder what that was. Okay, well, that's convenient that he just disappeared for me. I wasn't sure if I had to stop or not. I'm gonna get the zoom different on my GPS inside there, so I know where I'm heading here. And I guess it is 5 north. Nice. So this is a $12,000 job. We're gonna have a loan installment come out. I don't know what time they come out. I should get more familiar with that. I can't remember. But we're gonna have, I don't know, over 30 grand, maybe 35 almost. And one of the tricks here is that I'm gonna have to stay somewhat disciplined and not, oh man, there's a lot of weight here. I gotta make adjustment, not crash. But we gotta make sure we don't necessarily just spend it on a new gearbox or a new engine or something, because we could, and that would be tempting. But I would rather just put up with what we've got, which is very capable, and instead work towards growth. And I think that would mean, just thinking about my routes here, making sure I'm going the right way through all this, but I think it would mean a new driver, I guess, but that also means a new truck, unless I was to go back to quick jobs, which is possible for a short period of time. But I'd love to get some passive income going, get at least one driver going where they can earn some XP and all that stuff, long before we think about opening up our second garage or expanding our garage and stuff. At least that's what I would think anyway. Perfect. Glad I could get over there. Wow, don't remember seeing these tunnels before. So let's zoom out a little bit. I think... Okay, maybe we did, actually. I do remember this interesting bridge. Wow. What a scene. Jealous of those sailboats. Okay. I should have maybe checked the photo to make sure that it does register that we got it. I think it's fine. And I was trying to figure out where the next rest point is. And, oh my goodness. We got a long way. Or do I just need to be zoomed in more? What am I... Okay, well, there's some there. We could exit, or... Here, okay. That's probably better. Can we get over there even? Like, there's only rests on the one side, but we can't get across? There's a bunch here as well. Let's see what the time is. It's an hour 50, and that's not good. We need one before then. Well, unfortunately, we're going to have to scoot over here. But that's kind of cool. There's a cutscene, a Kenworth, and a garage. Where is that? Near Seattle. I mean, it's kind of discovered because we can see it on the map here, I guess, but I don't know if we've actually been over there. So anyway, we're gonna get off here. Let me get over to the right. Yeah, beautiful. Exit only. Let's go get this rest knocked out, and maybe we'll go see a couple of those other things while we're in the area. And then we're heading back to Idaho. So we want to stay right. Yeah. Man, I got a lot of respect for all of you guys. I mean, probably a lot of you, if you've seen this, you probably play. But I was going to say content creators. It's really anyone who really does the simulation in this game. Like, first of all, it's got to be wheel and pedals, which I have played before. I do own some, but we're doing controller in this series. But you do only, like, the full wheel setup. And then even more so with the gearbox, like the gear shifter, and some guys invest in like a proper truck shifting setup. I think that has like all the gears and stuff. That's wild. And it's probably really rewarding to play too. But yeah, we're just not doing that. We're just gonna be more casual. It's cool though. Well, and then how about convoys? I've never done it in this game. I generally don't game with people that much. But that's probably a lot of fun. Could probably be on CBs and radio into each other as you plan your trips and stops and stick together through places. Okay, so there's a garage. We could rest there, but how do we get in? Versus, oops, sorry that I'm in the middle of the road. Okay, let's get around to the Kenworth. And there's a cutscene and there's a rest stop back there. Because there's no way we were going to be able to pull into that garage. If I had planned it a little better, maybe. This guy's trying to get around me, but sorry. What are we in? Peterbilt, I think, right? So Kenworth's kind of interesting. Oh man, we're yellowing. This could be bad. Ah, $400. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I even knew it, right? That's what you get for being impatient. But anyway, I don't know. It'd be interesting to shop at Kenworth. Not opposed to it. We're nowhere near it right now, financially, so no need for us to look at the new trucks, I don't think. And even when we are in a position where we're going to add one to the fleet, it's probably going to be used again. I don't know. Or it could be a new one for me, and then we hand this one off to one of the workers. Okay, so what do we got here? The rest stop's over there, but I wanted to hit this thing. So we're going to have to back out of here once we hit this, I think. Let's get it. What is it? Kenworth Factory. Okay. So they build the trucks here? Or assemble them anyway? Really? This is just outside of Seattle, Renworth, I think. This is a refresher for me to see some of the Kenworth models. There's a day cab. We just went past, I think, some with a sleeper. That's nice, though. Oh, cool. There's just the cabs by themselves before they get on the chassis, look like. The grills on skids. The exhaust. Man, that's really cool. They just got them right out in the parking lot. They move them inside and they're like, all right, let's put together a truck. And here's some cube trailers. Box trailers? I don't know what they're called. That's a super simple one. Simple, single axle. Probably, I don't know, like a 26-footer or something like that. Okay. Are we going to be able to get out of here? Because I want to get into the rest stop over on our right-hand side there. I think we're doing it. No job offers yet, please. I need to go to bed. Where is it? Okay, that's fine. Jackknife this a little bit. Sam's Club. Wow, that's a blast from the past. We don't actually have those in Canada. We've got, like, Costco, I guess, would be the similar membership club kind of big warehouse thingy. But I've traveled down in the States plenty of times. Been to Sam's Club. I don't think this is going to go well. I'll tell you what, we're not going to probably park that well. Speaking of not being simulation. Okay, here's a Kenworth next to us. Right? The day cab. Pretty nice. That feels sort of similar to the one that we're in terms of, I don't know, just similar league versus this. This is more like a classic, boxy, older truck that's still awesome. With a sleeper, and what? It's also a Kenworth. That's got to be an older series. Excuse me, an older model or something. Okay, so let's sleep. We're gonna wake up at some ungodly hour. Holy shit, 2 a.m. All right. And away we go. Let's see what this night's got to offer us. And we got 7 hours till we get to our destination. So it's gonna be kind of like sunrise, almost as we're getting back into Idaho, basically. And that's cool. It's one of my favorite things in the game is seeing sunrises. I think even more than the sunsets. Just something about the day turning on. And it's also like, I think it's generally before the world wakes up, right? The majority of people are not even going yet. And it's, I don't know, it feels like a special time. Used to hate mornings for many years when you're younger. And all throughout my 20s. I mean, I partied my ass off and you just stay up all night. And then you sleep till whenever life allows you to. Sometimes 1, 2 p.m. or whatever. But it's been a while since then, and since then too, just jobs and whatever, I became a big fan of mornings. Because it's quiet. Nobody needs you or wants you, and you just nothing's required of you yet. When it's early in the morning, it's just uniquely your time. But it requires getting to bed at a good time, being able to just inherently sleep fairly well. It's certainly not for everyone. I get it. I don't get up as early these days as I did a few years ago. Another one of my favorite memories that just came to mind is when I was a kid and we used to go on vacations, but they were little shoestring, on a budget, barely spend anything vacations. Like we would drive down to Florida in a big old nasty Astro van. Like we got two sisters, so the five of us, our whole family, drive down. We stay in a Days Inn, like the entire 5-6 days or whatever. So like the cheapest place that we could find. But it was still so special as a kid because we didn't know any differently. So you get to go play like whoa, dude, you cause an accident? Okay, well, I'm glad we avoided that. He's got his four-ways on. Oh, that was wild. Sorry about that. Okay. But we would travel around Florida and find, it was often like coupon books. You'd find these plazas that would be handing out deals for go-karts or mini golf or some of the parks, but sort of the tertiary parks, not Walt Disney World or whatever, Disney World. It'd be the more like SeaWorld or Busch Gardens or some other, or Gatorland. I remember doing that one. It's pretty cheap. Just go in and see a big pile of gators. That stuff was awesome. And obviously memorable. It still sticks with me. But the point was, the road trip, which is more than 20 hours from where I'm at to drive down to Florida, was half the fun. Just as memorable. You'd stop at gas stations, you stayed, well, sometimes we'd stay at motels. Normally we would drive through the night. And, I don't know, following maps, like on our way down, learning how to read maps and figure out, oh, okay, we're in Tennessee, we just passed this, okay, we just entered Georgia, and the weather is warming up as you're heading further and further south, and then you see your first palm trees as you're getting into, I think, southern Georgia. Certainly by the time you get to northern Florida, I think there's already some. But man, it just gets so exciting. The anticipation. And also, you get to stay up all night. Like, you just kind of sleep whenever you can, but it's not like we got in trouble or anything for being up during the night when either my mom or dad was driving. That was so fun. that all came, I don't know, that came to my mind just because of this night driving on the highway, kind of across the country. Brings me back. We used to do that. Used to love it. This is quite dark, I must say. You can barely make out the silhouettes of the trees. Just the edging of the kind of mountains. There's a lot of elevation here. And then a few stars. I suppose, what if I zoom? Whoa! I'm gonna get in an accident. Okay, holy shit. I'm trying to zoom in and see some stars. Okay. Alright. It's kind of amazing we haven't gotten in an accident. That guy that put on the four-ways right as we were getting on the highway. To be honest, I don't even know if I remember what happens when that happens. Like, gotta go to a repair shop, like where you would get upgrades or whatever, and then you just gotta get repairs done. I'm assuming, and that could cost thousands, I imagine. So let's not do that. We gotta stay focused. We're a responsible operator. think I remember this section of road. Although, so we're on Highway 90 or Interstate 90 or whatever, and I think to our right, pretty sure there's a big lake or like some body of water over there. It is wide open. So maybe we took part of this road in to Seattle. Not sure. Okay, we gotta pull in here. No problem. And I think based on the amount of weight we're hauling, we should be pretty compliant. Let's get that retarder working. Good evening, folks. I think you'll find we're in good working order. And we will have a safe journey, despite the crazies that are out here. This truck passes us, and then we get a window here to pull in. Ah, Honeywell. It's a big company. Used to sell some of their stuff in the industrial world. Like limit switches and, I don't know, float sensors, and they got pretty wide product range. Sorry, car. You know, I kind of just cut him off, but, you know, us trucks gotta pass too. So it's 4 a.m. We're probably a couple hours off from sunrise. And we're heading across Washington, kind of going due east, I believe. And there's nothing in between us and Idaho. We'll be popping into our home state within a few hours. Really has changed the scenery here, though. No more of those sort of pine forests that we were seeing in Washington. At least at the moment. Now, I do want to check again and just see the roads. So they're still not yellow for sure. If I'm gonna have to like look that up. Versus, okay, well, there's all the cities, the towns that we visited that are yellow. I kind of like to see which roads we've traveled. So I don't know if I'm a fan of whatever is happening there. I think it's a little surprising at 4:30 a.m., but I think we're seeing the beginnings of the sunrise, right? It's a good bit of pink, orange hue happening on the horizon there. And just in general, the lighting has really picked up. Although in our rear view mirror, look at that. In our left mirror, it was pretty nice skybox. Nice stars. Oh yeah, this is perfect. This time of day, I love being on a delivery at this time. I kind of wish it would let you stay awake longer. I get it. I'm not against the realism that you can't just be hauling indefinitely. There's probably mods to change. Whoa! Oh my goodness, that was not safe. I don't know how close we were there to tipping, but it felt kind of close. Anyway, there's probably mods to address how sleeping works, but it's just kind of awkward right now because we're going to keep getting forced into this night cycle, and I guess I could sleep back to back. I think it lets you, right? Yeah. So we could do a double sleep probably. Scenic view in 1 mile. By the way, I feel like just the way my chair is and my boom mic, that I've been getting a little further away from the mic. I don't know how much impact it has on the audio quality. I moved forward like 10 seconds ago. See if it makes a difference. May have to adjust that stuff. Okay, well, let's pop in here. I mean, there's... Oh, it's on the left. It's on that side. Can we just cut across? I don't think so. It seems risky. Even though we're a little bit loosey-goosey with the realism, I don't want to quite go to that degree. Alright, well that was kind of unfortunate. Hopefully I can get back in here. Please don't hit me, truck. Oh, and we got a hill climb too, with 44,000 pounds. I wanted to talk to my truck a moment ago. Just spurring it on, telling it it's got it. So we probably need to come up with a name. If any of you know of a name that we can maybe attribute to this truck, you gotta throw it out there. We might just adopt it. How about that sun, by the way? It has fully crested. Got some God rays peeking up. It's lovely. We are hauling ass in the right lane here, speeding pretty good. But we're just gonna let it roll. We worked hard to climb that hill. We deserve to ride it going down. Okay, so adaptive cruise control, I think, just turned on there. That was what was kind of weird, so I turned that off. Still got about 4 hours to destination. I think the adaptive cruise control just went again, so I tried to see if that changed it. We got a trailer park on our right, or it might be a trailer dealership. There's an awful lot of them. Oh, look at that lake. Don't mind me on the rumble strips. Just peeking around. What an idea. That's so smart. It seems like it'd be a pain to install them when you're putting in a road, but I bet that saves so many lives of people dozing off, just kind of slowly passing out while they're driving, and you hit that little rumble pad, and it's harmless. It's not like it wrecks cars, but it does jar you for a second. I think I remember as a kid, they weren't around here anyway, but at some point when I was young, the first ones came in and it was a new thing. It's pretty cool though, smart. Guy blasted past me and now he's stuck. I wonder what that trailer is. Those cylinders. It looks like a gas of some sort that he's hauling. And I'm looking at his front grille. I think that's a Volvo, is it? Maybe an older version or a slightly older model. like a pretty big rest stop on our right there. Wonder if it's like a Loves or something. We don't have Loves down or in Canada. What's the really popular one I have heard about? Oh, Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's, right? Is that the name? There's a ton of them down in the States, and they're like unbelievable places. Just clean, great food. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the reputation of what I've heard about them, but apparently it's like they're fantastic. The people are well paid. I think my coworkers were telling me about it, and I was like, "Are you serious?" Well, it sounds too good to be true, but it's great that they exist. I'm not sure if you can hear my dog, Dino. He's got complete free reign of the house. I live alone, and he's never ever in a crate, on a leash, in a room. He's got total free reign. But I got big front windows that overlook a really nice park, and so there's people there all the time at the park, and especially walking their dogs and stuff too, which is even more so cause for him being vocal. So you'll always hear him, and I don't know. I'm never gonna change that, right? Like I'm not gonna put him in a different room or something, or I suppose I can edit, but I'm just not worried about it. I also have a cat. Her name is Luna. So they play sometimes, chase each other around. Some cool rock faces here. I wonder how... Whoa, did that car almost drive into me there? That was another close call. And it's like a miracle we've kept our paint on our truck today. Ooh, what's that? Almost like a stadium, but some big buildings. This can't be Sandpoint. We're still 2 hours out. Newport, maybe? Newport sounds like a pretty big town. Oh, elevated train. It's a hospital. Oh, Spokane, okay. I've heard of that. Sounds big. Beautiful. Look at this rock built right into the overpasses. Like, what a... Not a nightmare, but just think about how big of a job that is, however many years ago when they put in all this infrastructure. And I always imagined that they had to dynamite it, but I suppose there's other excavating tricks probably to just carve into solid rock like that. Seems like a big undertaking though. Welcome to Idaho. Thank you for the warm welcome. Speed limit is higher. Back on home soil. Feels good. Ooh, okay. Oops. Just about missed that. I was just noticing that we're a little bit low on fuel. Let's have a peek. Let's see where we're at. Okay, so we have entered Idaho. We're in Coeur d'Alene. I'm never gonna know that name, by the way. I don't speak Japanese. So there's a garage to our left. That's kind of cool with a rest spot. What about fuel? Way down here. And we're not that far though. I think we can make it to Sandpoint. Famous last words. And this is probably this question mark could be a recruitment center. or a dealership. We're so close. I wonder if we should go out of our way there. Kinda just determined to get up here. And the way that this is set up, it's on the other side of the road. So we kind of might have to deliver first, then get back over to here. I think we're okay. I just wanted to get our bearings here quick, but we've got about a third of a tank. I kind of missed it. What road are we? Well, we're going through Coeur d'Alene. Oh, this lane ends. That was dumb. That's what I get, being greedy. It's an interesting town. Pulling up to here. So that's there's a garage right in front of us there. And be right back, guys. Sorry. My apologies, everyone. Breaking up an episode briefly like that, but we're back. Heading through Frenchtown. I might just call this like Paris from now on, instead of trying to pronounce it. There's the garage that someday we might own that. Actually, I'm going to just stake the claim. That's going to be our garage someday. Not going to be a single garage in Idaho that we don't own. Maybe. It's a good thing to aspire to anyway. It's a cool looking road. We got about an hour left, so we're heading north, I think. Oh, this is the spot we were saying might be a recruitment center. Yeah, it is. I can see the sign. What do we do here? Whoa, chill. Don't need another ticket. We already got one. Huh. You know what? Okay, we're gonna go straight. We're gonna discover that, and we'll just go around the block. I can see it's, you know, a quick right. But let's go discover this, because it's been a while. I can't remember exactly how all of it works, but I think we want as many options as possible when we are selecting our first employee. They all have different stats and traits and levels of pay and stuff, I think, even, but you want to be able to pick from a nice big pool. So there we go. We got her discovered. And we'll just jog through the Home Depot here. Oops, sorry, buddy. Yep, there we go. Oh, look at this big gardening center. Been doing a lot of that in real life recently. Actually, just this morning I planted a new little tree line at our cottages. There's just a dozen little emeralds, but really nice. Just gave some privacy to both us and our neighbor. And it's where the guests pull up to stay at the cottages, at least in one of the parking spots. And so it's a nice little natural feature. Hard work, though. Anything landscaping, I do enjoy it, but man, moving earth around, digging holes, it's all just heavy and laborious and out in the sun and all that. I always just tell myself it's good for me. Need the physical activity, the vitamin D, all that stuff. I mean, what's the saying? Go out and touch grass, right? So I do that once in a while. When we're not trucking, of course. Oh, we got a green. Let's get into the cinematic. Just for a minute as we get out of here. Away we go. Sandpoint, 41 miles. So yeah, I don't think that we're going to need necessarily some heavier gear inside of this truck for a little while. We know that we can comfortably haul about 50,000 pounds, and that's okay for getting these kind of common jobs done. We've been able to traverse hills no problem. Hasn't been a big deal. So instead of dropping 20, 30,000, which we could easily do, we'll stick with our 400 horsepower and our Eaton 10 speed. Try to hold off on upgrading those for a little bit. Oh, it's 65 here. Look like another lake off to our left here. Oh, never mind. There's some kind of water around here. Oh, Canadian flag. Nice. Oh, here's a bunch of water. I don't know if that's what I was seeing or not, but oh, that's cool. Look at that train over there. I'm staying in my lane. Okay. Sandpoint next right. Not this one, okay, or is it? Sandpoint discovered. There's a cinematic down there. It's probably for the town of Sandpoint. This is a cool overpass. Get to see the city in really close proximity, but not have to go through the congestion of it. Yeah, I don't know. We're at the hour mark. In some ways, feels a little disappointing if we only did the one delivery, but it was a big one. It was cross-state. We did make it back to our home state, and it's a pretty big payout, over 12 grand. So I'd say that's pretty successful. It's progress. I want to exit here, right? No, okay. Sorry. So we'll keep this from being a 2-hour episode. Maybe a little easier to watch and easier to upload, all that stuff. And we'll get back into it within the next day or two or something. We'll hit up another session and we'll just keep knocking them out. But first we got to finish this. Let's get this done. Always nervous when I turn right on a red that I'm gonna get a ticket, because I did one time. It was pretty early on. I was testing some stuff, like I think video, but I was doing some tests quickly in between episodes, and I got burned. And it was a big one, like 600, I want to say. I'm always a little nervous now. Not very tidy. Garbage area. All right, where do you guys want this thing? Looks like it's around the back. Ah, Some landscaping, like some patio stone, cinder blocks. Cool. Okay, where are we at? I don't see it yet. Oh, it might be right on our right. Tucked. Oh, here. I can barely see it in the pavement. Okay. Okay. Well, we did an excellent job, apparently, delivering gypsum from Seattle to Sandpoint. Time taken almost 20 hours. But we got proficiency. It was a long distance drive. So we get a little bonus money and experience. 12,600. Didn't quite level up. So we're still at level 5. No longer a newbie, which is nice. It's great. Now we're at 34 grand. Happy about that. So maybe I'm kind of curious to look at the garage management, the employee management. Maybe this is something I should do at the beginning of an episode instead of the start of one. So what's driver manager? Okay, we've only got the one driver, of course. Let's see recruitment agency. Okay, so do we pick a specific one or we get to see all of them? You don't have any slots available for new driver. Please upgrade one of your garages or buy a new one. Okay. There's only 4 available here. And so I don't know if this is like all of the recruitment agencies we've discovered. I think it might be, because normally you only get like 1 or 2. So the driver ratings is a couple of 0.8s and a couple of 1.7s. Asked wage 357 plus 6. So how's that possible? These two cost the same, but a much better driving rating for Thomas. Whereas this is slightly more expensive, but so is this. This guy's the most expensive. The 0.8 rating. Now he does have a few stats. I don't exactly know how to interpret all of this necessarily. He's actually got 4 stats because he's got flammable along with just on time, fragile, and fuel savings. Versus Brandon specializes in high value, fragile. Okay. For our services, they charge a modest fee of $1,500. So we would have to have another slot. If we go to Garage Manager, we've got a tiny garage in Twin Falls with 1 of 1 driver. Now, I guess a couple of things. We either upgrade it, and what's that look like? You don't have enough. Oh, so 180,000. So I mean, we'd have to have a loan essentially, or you can remove yourself probably. Can you? Driver manager, relocate? I don't know. Is there a way to maybe remove myself? Look at my wage, it's pretty high, asking price. Average profit per distance, $25 a mile, seems really good. Profit per day, 12 grand. Solid. Yeah, I don't know if there's a way for me to remove myself from the garage to put an employee there instead. I think more likely when we get to that point, we might bite the bullet and get a loan. I think maybe my goal, I'm trying to clarify this for myself, but it's probably to just keep hustling, pay off our existing loan, which, by the way, is, let's check it out. Services, bank, 96K. We've only made a couple of payments. So if we can earn enough, by that time it's probably going to be right around the 90,000 mark, pay this off, and then we could think about Maybe we need another loan to expand our garage. We'd need another truck and a driver, which would be like this long. We can borrow up to 400K. I think we're allowed out 500K total, but we would maybe take this one out. It's pretty steep. You've got to earn almost 6,000 a day just to break even, but we could do that, especially with a second driver contributing to it a little bit. We'd have to really be pulling most of the weight, but we'll maybe do that at some point. Just get the ball rolling on some better daily income. Let's check out the used trucks briefly. Excuse me? 28,000, 37,000. Oh, okay, the quality is awful. A 1-star, 455,000 miles. This one's 440,000 miles at a 3-star. Yeah, so that's... I don't know if we even want to dabble with that. Like, sure, they're cheap, but you get what you pay for, maybe? I don't really know. Compared to these other two right next to it that are, I mean, 88,000, and it's only got 61K kilometers on it. And it's another Peterbilt. It's a 579 day cab, so same as the one we've got now. Versus a Volvo. Might be cool to, I don't know, whether we mix up the fleet or we stay true to Peterbilt for a bit. But we're not ready to do that. It was more just curious. I want to continue to look around a little bit here, just at the end of the episode. So trailer-wise, we have not unlocked almost anything except for a dry van. And we did look at that before, a base price of $41,380, and that's for a teeny tiny little shit dry van. Versus if we wanted to upgrade it fully, they're probably looking at almost 80K. And wow, we are nowhere near that. But it's kind of cool. Flatbed, drop deck, so you could get some equipment onto those. Horizontal bottom dumper, bulk feed. I don't know if I've ever looked at these, and especially the higher end ones. A lot of dumpers, and there's some of the fuel and gas, food tanks. That interests me especially, I think. Livestock, that's pretty niche, feels like. Okay, well, like I said, eventually I would like to incorporate trailers at some point down the road. Not sure. Just checking anything else. Let's see our career progress. 10 of our deliveries. We've done 10. I guess they're all on time. We visited 4 out of our 11 unlocked states. Only 3.5% explored. Oof. Yeah, 4 recruitment agencies. So that kind of makes sense. There was 1 driver from each agency, I guess, that we had visibility on. Red light violations, 3 of them. Oh, and traffic violations. 1,200, not too bad. All right. Well, we might just call it there. Still no yellow roads, but we do got yellow towns. So we're back in Idaho in the very north tip. And we'll see what happens in the next one, whether we head to Montana for the very first time. That'd be fun. Or whether we head back south and maybe just stop in to our hometown of Twin Falls, check on the garage. Actually, you know, I'm thinking that we go east and we keep hustling. We check out Montana, maybe even come down through Wyoming. We haven't seen either. Then collect ourselves back to southern Idaho, because at that time we might be ready to spend some money. I would assume we'd earn quite a bit on this big tour, both east and south. That sounds like a pretty good plan. But we'll have to wait for the next one to see where that takes us. Appreciate you guys joining. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.